What's up, guys? It's NW Serpent here making another video about the open beta test for Guilty Gear Strive. Open beta test just announced, just recently, and it won't start until like the 19th of February. So if you haven't pre-ordered the Guilty Gear Strive game, you can always pre-order like right now or later on this week before the beta test starts. So without further ado, let's jump into and see the information that we're gonna be looking into. So schedule this February 17th, 20 to the 21st. So it's gonna be up from there to all the way there in Pacific time. So open beta test will be available to download for those who have pre-ordered the digital version of Guilty Gear Strive on February 17th, 10 o'clock Pacific time. That's AM actually for the North America PS Store. The game cannot be played until the 17th of 19. It's like I don't know how they build this. I think it was like 9 o'clock. Like 7 o'clock, yeah, 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific time when the servers open. Open beta test is available early to those who have pre-ordered a digital version or either a standard edition, deluxe edition, or the ultimate edition. And sadly, there's no Steam, there's no Xbox One, there's no Switch version, or it's only available for PS4 and PS5. So if you happen to have like a Sony PlayStation on you, like that has PS4 or PS5, you can actually pre-order and get it too. So far, for Steam players or PC players like me and other people out there. Well, actually, I'm multi-platform, so it doesn't really matter. But if you're a Steam player, then you won't be able to try out the Strive version or the beta test for this version. So unfortunately, those two are available. Honestly, general participants of the 18th for the 18th of 7 p.m. to all the way to 7 a.m. So 18th to the 21st, and then there's the GMT time, of course. I don't have that timeline, but that's kind of up to you what time you're living into. But open beta test will be available to download on February 18th for people who are regular participants who wants to like get the beta test, like doesn't want to go a little really early, or doesn't want to go really early and don't want to get the pre-order beta test, and they can always get it through a standard time, so they can only like play the game for the next like 3 days, while like us play for 5 days. I don't know. Pre-order Guilty Gear Strive right now is like I always do that for every game. Always do it for like every like beta test that comes out. I want to try out to play the game a little earlier to get a bigger understanding if I like the game or not too. But anyway, that's playable characters. Angie Misa and the 15 character are not playable. That sucks. Well, the characters got announced too, so I'll be like, you know, kind of for real that like it's gonna be for a while until Angie Mito gets playable. Probably not until like starting like on April or anything too. So other than that, we get a chance to play the first 13 characters that are released. Sorry, unfortunately, Angie Mito, the 15 character, won't be playable until then. So kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Available modes: versus mode, CPU and nerd player. Maybe if you can put Parsec on it. Nah, not really. Well, CPU, it won't make sense to have a versus mode since we're still under pandemic, because I mean, there'll be people like around you if you want to do a come over with wearing masks on and just play the game, but play locally. I wouldn't mind about that. But other than that, for that, I mean, it's nice to have a versus mode against the CPU. I mean, you guys should learn something from the CPU, I guess. Anyway, tutorial mode. Okay, learn the basics. Okay, just like extra last time, they have a tutorial mode where they have a list of stuff where you need to learn how to play Guilty Gear. I mean, that's like one of the best modes they actually did for Guilty Gear Strive. For Strive, they have like a list of like stuff what you need to learn to play Guilty Gear and stuff. And I'm glad that a lot of people got into the tutorial and got into playing it. And it's one of the better features of Guilty Gear is to learn how to play it. Train mode. Okay, we can actually go to the lab and actually learn some stuff about their characters and stuff. So it's a good timing that open beta test, people did the right thing on open beta tests of adding a train mode so we can have a better understanding how to play their characters. So I'm actually very happy that we get a chance to do this. Like, not Grand Blue Force didn't have that one. Some of the previous fighting game beta tests never had that one. I mean, I think Street Fighter 5 did have a little bit, but you can't really control the network where they ask you for a match or something if they're available or something. So they can't really just throw away the whole available network, or they give you a chance to laugh for the last few hours and stuff too. So other than that, I'm happy they're adding a train mode that actually play as much as we want in our heart's content. So it's actually really nice. Network mode. Okay, network mode. So we're gonna talk about like how the beta test is actually going to work. So we're going to read this through. Play against other people across the globe. Beta test is used to rollback netcode for online matches connection. You can enjoy online matches with a responsive comparative to offline matches. About numbers displayed at the top of the screen during matches. MS refers to ping, response speed from your opponent, and it changes depending on your network connection and the distance between you and your opponent. Your match will be smoother lower than this number. And rollback frames and refers to an average number of rollback frames that set the period of time. The numbers will increase the worse than the connection between you and your opponent is. When the numbers gets too high, the match can be very difficult to display. So, and when they're reporting your impressions of errors and encounter during the online match, please include the two numbers detailed above in your report. So we can't really set the frame. So if there's something an error or encounter errors during online matches, or we see the skipping during our matches, we had to make a report about it. I was like, so in terms of our system is trying to do right now is that we are literally have to force to like endure the bad matchups that comes across from everybody too. So you have to like put up with it too. So you can't really change the number. You can't really change to like how many frames of delay you can go for based on the distance too, like from 1 to 3 to 4. And I'm just like, really? Are we gonna actually doing that? But for the last time we did a beta test for the Steam version let us to have a number where like how much delay do you want to put at just to play the person. Like let's say they have like 235 ping, and I have to move my frame to up to like 3 or 4, and I have to do that. And during the beta test for Plus R, I literally just put the brain ping, and it looks like it's playable, slightly playable, but it's actually able to like play anybody from a far distance too. So it was actually not so bad too. But for this one right now, you have to put up with it so they can set a number to it. I mean, it's not really a bad thing, but it's something you have to endure how bad it's gonna be. So like, let's say you fight someone in Germany, and then suddenly that the numbers are stacked too high, and they start skipping, start teleporting everywhere, and it gets really confusing and stuff. So they want us to put up with the number, put up with the how many MS it has, and how much skipping at it, and we have to make a report about how much they have to set the number to. Honestly, I would love to set it the number to 3, honestly, because that's actually really standard on connection between you and your opponent and stuff. So, but other than that, they want to be sure they have everything, like, you know, everything right to set the number. So honestly, this might be like kind of a risky move for not putting up a number or connection, just like how, like, you know, Plus R, they had to put a number on the frame delay between 1 to 3 to 4 to 5 or something. But this is kind of like a little risky, but it's something to know like what kind of like connection they're gonna deal with and what the numbers are gonna be set onto. I'm glad they're doing this, but at the same time, it's gonna be a little risky. But other than that, it's just the only way for the experience to be enjoyable for the actual real game. So, in order for a network test for a variety of connected conditions, beta tests will not include features such as connection compatibility display before the match or matchmaking filter based on connection strength. Yep, there's not. It's gonna be completely raw, and based on their like rollback connection stuff. This is gonna be in-house connection, so it's gonna be in-house rollback. Nothing to borrow from GGPO or other companies or whatnot. Even though I don't understand why I didn't get GGPO and stuff too. But other than that, there won't be much matchmaking, so you can't really control it too. So you have to forced to play other people who are available too. So there's nothing really much we can do about that. So notes: open beta test can only be played during the scheduled time period. The open beta test contains our varieties from finalized release version, and network connection is required to play at open beta test, even in online modes. Even on offline modes? What do you mean? Save data from open tests cannot be carried upon the release. Good thing I'll be streaming this. PlayStation Plus members is not required to play on. Okay, at least that's a good thing. Other than that, I'm really curious about how they're not gonna add the whole frame delay on the rollback where we want to set it on. So it's kind of risky to it, but it's always for us to like test the beta and some. And try to figure out what kind of number that should be set. But it better not be set to 1 like they did in Street Fighter V, like the amateur rollback version. So, I am, and also for the rollback for a scheduled time period, I'm also going to be available for like the next 5 days of playing this game. So, which is pretty much good for me too. So it gives me time to mess around the back and forth while doing like Calamity Crusade or playing other tournaments or playing all my playthroughs and stuff. So Network connection is required. One thing I did that really kind of like bothered me the most was the connection requirements to play like on just to play even on offline modes. It's like you have to require a connection just to play offline mode. You know, if we're not in the pandemic right now, man, I will just lose my mind when we have like a tournaments and stuff too. It just blows my mind that we had to put up with that too. And honestly, there's no match making or player option or whatnot. You have to play your match. You're just gonna play your match. That's pretty much what it is. So there won't be that much beta test tournaments and stuff. So if they somehow do find a way to have a tournament like that, then that would have been great too. But other than that, Save Dead doesn't really carry over to the release version. It's just only a beta test in general too. So other than that, I'm looking forward for the 19th of February. I'm hoping to get a chance to mess around and see how I feel about Strive right now, especially for the rollback deck code. I'll see what I can find, like what kind of errors they should improve on and whatnot, or give my honest review after the whole online matches thing is done too. So other than that, I'll be looking forward for the next 1 week or two.